to your name. So you're going to want to come out and try your best and see what you can get done. We're going to have to see where they're going to try and get it done. Can we take a quick look at the map bans, please, Mr. Producer
Ooh.
Man?
Little map bannage underway. Of course, Nemesis immediately ban out Coastline.
And then Villa and Oregon. Nemesis just don't want us to have our
Any
favorite
fun?
maps. Oh,
We do have, however, do you know, Clubhouse, as I like to call it, the ploughman sandwich. You know what you're gonna get here. You know what you're gonna get here. Everyone knows what they're gonna get here. I think that's a nice comfort place for both these teams to go. At the same time, the fact that Delta chose to go there, I think at this point they just want to play something a bit more standard. They don't want to show their hand too much before we go into the playoffs. So that makes total sense for them. And again, for Nemesis, it's one of those like back of your hand knowledge map. So this is going to be quite good for them to go on. And again, regardless, the thing is as well, like yes, they haven't won yet, but there have been a lot of matches where it has come very close to the nail. And I think that there's so much potential in this roster. I'm just going to get this out of the way before we get into it. There's so much potential in this roster that going forward, I think realistically for season 2 of Athena, and maybe even other tournaments, I would like to see them play in those as well. Like to see them keep trying it. The more time you spend together as a roster, the more you work together, the stronger you become, the more you learn. And like a lot of rosters in this, it's all really about having fun, getting that opportunity to actually play comp, getting the competitive experience. And I think that yeah, this is a roster that's quite pleasant. Rice Ball Chell as an example, and Toxic Barbie, they have been showing up very consistently for that roster. Um, Again, though, Delta Project, bit of a scary enemy to go against, though, do you know? Bit of a scary enemy to go against.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've spoken many times about sort of the individuals on the side of Nemesis and how, they're just looking for that week where they can put it all together and really sort of come out guns blazing and, you know, be able to secure that win. We are going to see these operator bans come on out. Nemesis starting on defense, get the first ban. They're going to get rid of that Zofia. Bit of an interesting choice. Typically for Clubhouse, we tend to see a lot of hard breach bans, as that is what really drives the advantage away from the attackers. And we're going to see Delta sort of stick true to that and get rid of the Hibana.
Absolutely, and again, that's quite a bullshit one, really, because then you're relying on essentially ace, maybe a bit of maverick action. Actually, secondary hard breach could be quite a good touch here. It's already Delta Project kind of coming in and really going for the jugular of some of these bans. The mirror being taken away also. Um, yeah, that makes total sense as well. Do not want to deal with that mirror. Very sweaty setups you can do with that mirror, especially on the top floor of this map as well. Curious to see Nemesis's final ban here. There we go, a classic intel ban, taking away that Valkyrie, preventing the use of those Valk cams in kind of every nook and cranny, particularly in the kitchen area where people may be waiting with C4s. Let's get stuck in, Dino.
Yeah, absolutely. Round number 1 about to get underway. See when Nemesis are wanting to start things off, as Delta with the Thatcher and the Maverick available aren't going to waste any time messing about. They're just going to go straight for it, lock in both of those and an ace with a Buck and a Yana to round it out. I don't expect we'll see any 6 picks really coming through from that lineup, as we are going to see Nemesis go to that top floor CCTV cache room to start off with. I'm actually going to switch the Bandit off onto a Rook. I mean, I get it,
Mm.
because they're going to be able to get the wall open with the Thatchers, with the Mavericks, with everything else. Like, they can get the wall open.
Defenders, protect your
But
bombs
is
from being
Rook
defused by
really
attackers.
the operator that you would switch to in this situation?
Especially given how much in this league people have been utilizing that Thunderbird, and it's worked out really, really well. We've seen some very interesting rounds where the round has essentially been won because of that Thunderbird utility. If you're going to bring a bit of a health boost, I would like to have seen the Thunderbird. Yeah, I think that's an interesting one. Again, maybe a comfort pick, though. Maybe Nemesis going into this, it's all about the learning experience for them, because, again, they are going against a monstrous roster here. This is more than just a death stack. This is an M&S death stack.
10 seconds left.
I really feel that, yeah.
How did I not see that one coming?
5 seconds
I don't
remaining.
know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I really feel like
Attackers' objective
those
is to locate a
EMPs are going
bomb
to be
and
insanely
defuse it.
powerful, though. Again, it's not just the fact that they got the Ruinies on the wall, but again, the external use of the EMPs to clear utility out of specific places is going to be a little bit naughty, a little bit spicy.
Yeah, I mean, I could get behind the Rook if the Rook was playing in Garage, because you've got that 2 times. You can really just hold the angle down and make things hell for the attackers who are trying to work their way on in. Maybe chucking a Wamai to help out as well, but that's not going to be the case. Brightwell Chan's actually playing at the top of red as Miss Marie is going to tag her up just a little bit. As this wall has already been softened up, ready to be open. They just need the buck of Panda to come on over to get it fully opened, to really start applying pressure onto the defenders.
100%. And again, Delta Project, they do this blindfolded. They could do this blindfolded. Just going through the motions. And again, it's interesting that they're not waiting immediately for to take the Rune Gates out. They are now, of course, and that EMP, it's not just going to take out the Rune Gate. Any, extra utility that may have been there as well is also going to be lost. Panda in the opening kick down to Expolitan on the roam, on the rafters rather. Sashi also falling down on that Malusi. It's going to start heating up a little bit, Dino.
Yeah, Nemesis already off and on the back foot, but Toxic Barbie able to pull it back a little bit. Nice angle being held there by the Aruni, able to get the kill onto Miss Marie. That's one of the players outside on those rafters, giving Rysel Chen space to move on up and get 1 kill and get out of there. Mia gonna go down as well. Now the player advantage in favor of Nemesis as Shishka gonna get lit up a lot, but it's gonna down Rysel Chen in the process. The buck from below actually going to get the shot onto Toxic Barbie. Panda with the nice angle. Shishka somehow managing to go for the plant behind the box. Ricebell Chen has been down. The impact's going to come on out. But the low HP Shishka is going to be fine and avoid going down from that. Now, Drydalia and Sassy trying to make this one happen. Drydalia's going to get the kill onto the first peak on a round. It's going to be aware that there's one player playing outside on the balcony. Needs to wait and try to bait out the peak from the repelling player. Someone needs to get on this diffuser soon. Panda just playing around downstairs inside a garage, still just waiting for it to happen, but it's going to be Kitty out on the repel to get the kill onto Dry Dahlia, and Delta Projects getting round number 1.
Absolutely, but Nemesis fair play. They made them work for it then. The inkling of a retake, but no. Delta Project, they just go for the motions. They make it look so easy. They're just so on a level. It's a little bit scary actually. Again, just the utility control, the gun control, the knowledge, the way that they all flow together. It's really nice, really nice, and certainly definitely a team to be keeping your eye on.
Yeah, I mean, well, the big thing for me was that Delta didn't get rattled at all. I mean, Toxic Barbie got some nice kills. We saw Ricebell Chen get a nice kill as well, and it just didn't change how Delta were playing. They still just went through. They just had to rotate one player around to then go sit on the balcony, where previously they were going to have Miss Marie, and it didn't bother them at all. It didn't slow them down at all. And it's that's sort of the hallmark of a really competent and well put together team.
Absolutely. I mean, I kind of feel like it's
10 seconds left before insertion.
a shame that they've gone back to the same site for
5
one, which
seconds
I
left.
think you could feel I was going to make that point anyway. I would have liked to see them maybe go to basement at this point and try their luck there. Again, what are they really doing differently here? Well, they've got that cap can on the pop. How impactful will that be? Again, Delta Project, they really drone everything so well. I would be surprised if they get caught off guard by that. But if they do, I will find that quite funny.
Now, we are going to see Ricebell Chen not play on the Rook this time around. Going to move on over to the Jaeger, giving Expolitan the opportunity to play on the Wamai and really hold down that garage position, which is going to make things a bit more difficult. Previously, Panda just kind of walked in the door and got a kill onto the player on rafters. Hopefully, with all this extra utility, it'll slow things down and make it less of a straightforward take. But Delta not really having to change anything. Actually, Expolitan not playing on the rafters, playing down by the door, but still showing one of those shoulders means that that kill gets immediately traded on out by Panda, who once again going for a great entry and the follow-up. Toxic Barbie holding that pixel angle yet again, but this time isn't going to work out for her. Panda able to secure a second kill already.
1 minute rafters control. That is a really good sign for how this round may go in the favor of Delta Project. Vidalia, however, has something to say about it. She's going to take down Shishka there. Panda immediately already going for the plan. They are actually forcing this very, very quickly. There's no C4s that can come out right now. There are impacts, however. Doesn't really do anything. There we go, Dino. The diffuser is firmly planted. Panda going to take down Vidalia. Rice Ball Chen on the flank into Garage. Maybe potentially going to take down Mia, but she's not actually going to be able to. Rice Ball Chen falling, and there's the second one as well. Mia with a cheeky 2k at the end there to secure this round for her team.
And Mia, just good intel of what's going on inside of Lounge. There's callouts, there's peaks. As we do have one player with a sound bug, we are going to come to a quick little rehost, get everything back and sorted. So you'll be looking at our faces for just a little bit longer. As Delta, they've just sort of done what they do. Nothing exactly like out of the ordinary, nothing too crazy, other than the shots that we've seen them hit. But that, I think, at this point is also just routine for them.
But again, it gets to this point where, you know, there was the start of the season where I was maybe coming across a little bit harsh, but I do think Delta understood fully where I was coming from with it, where they weren't on top form. Now they are on top form. So, of course, you know, watching them play this way, it's kind of like, yeah, this is kind of the expectation of this roster, to be honest. A lot of veterans of not only the women's competitive scene, but other competitive scenes as well. So you do expect it from them, and you can really see it in the way that they play. It's the control that they have over their utility, the way that they're pushing everything. They know what control they need to gain. Again, Panda getting that Rafters garage control within the first minute or so. That's ideal. That's what you want. That's what you 100% want for that take. So,
As a
yeah.
Buck main, it was beautiful to see.
I
It
knew you'd
was,
be like, yeah. I was
it
like,
was just.
well, you might like that. Especially again, it's not just the fact that it's the obviously skeleton key shotgun through the floor. It's the ability to create those holes and then just go for a normal kill.
Hmm.
It's a little bit naughty. Yeah, very pleasant to watch. And again, the Thatcher being left on the board, and they're just really utilizing it well. They're just being like, okay, we'll just keep draining your utility very quickly then, and using that up. And on the side of Nemesis, I again, I just really want to see a bit more confidence in the lineup they're bringing, I suppose, because again, it was this little things where it's like this felt like a bit off with the Rook. They've gone a bit more standard now, but again, just a bit more adjustments. I think some of the picks that they're trying to make with these operators are being a little bit too creative when perhaps they need to go back to basics, which is, Dino, actually what they appear to be doing right now.
I mean, Gym Bedroom is. It's always a weird one. But showing the castle is never what you want to do. Because what happens is exactly what we've seen happen. Panda goes, oh, I don't get to use a skeleton key this round, I get to use a big hammer instead. And now those castles that are going to be positioned on those exterior windows are going to get dealt with pretty easily. As one thing to note, Expolitan now has 4 castles to bring to play in each round as part of that little update that we had yesterday as well.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, right, the thing is I really want to see here is how that bathroom area is going to be played, because obviously that mirror ban came through from Delta, which I respect. I think if you would have left that on the table, they would have done that mirror bathroom setup here.
5 seconds left.
But they've left the rotation open still, Dino, and they don't have the
Attackers are
Aruni.
moving out to locate
So
a
you'd
bomb
think
and
maybe
defuse it.
if you're not using the mirror, you'd use the Aruni on that rotation instead. There's none of that.
I'm also confused as to where these castle barricades are being placed. So one's gone over towards the CCTV cache door. Typically, we'd see one on the gym window, and with this extra one, I would assume one on the gym door to hallway by the jacuzzi breach, and then potentially one on the connector window to spice things up. But I don't know. I'm interested to see where they're being placed, as we are going to see Trishka just work on getting this wall open nice and early on into the round. Being able to hold down this jacuzzi balcony is going to give a lot of control on over to the attack. They're just going to need someone, probably Panda, with her big hammer to come and open this wall up for them.
Panda with a hammer. It almost rhymes. Almost.
Almost.
No, again, Panda, a player with a lot of competitive experience, and certainly on that sled, she can be a menace as well.
Pandas would be much less of an endangered species if they used hammers. I will give them that.
Bold of you to assume they'd have the energy to actually bother using them.
Well, that is also a valid point.
First kill going in the side of Delta Project again. Another beautifully cooked nade kill. We've seen so many of these from this roster in this season, and they tickle my fancy, they really do.
They're just nice to see. There's just the coordination, the timing, the skill that goes into it. As Toxic Barbie gonna show a bit too much of herself on that one. Gets taken down by Miss Marie. Mia's gonna get the kill onto Rice Bell Chen, and now it's just Dry Dahlia left alone. 1 versus 5, was able to get one, but it's gonna be Panda with the hammer. Get the kill to close out this round, and I mean, yet again, it really doesn't look like Delta are being tested.
No, but I will say again, Dry Dahlia did prevent it from being a flawless round, which is something. That's something for the self-esteem, I think. And again, I was so confused about that bathroom setup, really, because if you are going to have that rotation so close to a very important breach wall, you usually want some kind of intel around that area. There wasn't any intel around the area, so yeah, a little bit of tweaking in that setup, I reckon. For Nemesis, just reinforce the entire thing, or indeed bring those Arunis instead. Yeah, we'll be quite curious to see if they adapt that going forward in season 2, as an example. Presumably they will. Presumably they will. They are choosing to go to basement now. Basemante. Again, looks like a relatively standard setup. They are bringing the Thunderbird and the Rook this time, though. It looks like they're really going to try and batten down the hatches for the way that they want to play this side. Presumably Toxic Barbie will be in the dirt tunnel in that classic smoke position as well. I don't think they're going to extend too much here, to be honest,
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Sassy has placed down her Banshees, as that really sort of suggests quite how far away from the site they're willing to play.
5 seconds.
Would expect to see one going inside of dirt, one probably towards the blue stairs or oil pit, and then one probably over towards the main stairs. But gonna have to wait and see how Nemesis really want to play this one, as it is looking like we're gonna have all 5 players staying on site and just letting Delta Project come into them.
Which is a massive shame, because the thing is, as soon as those drones indicate that there's no one really on that top floor, they're just going to go for a full collapse. They've already taken out Expolitan. There is, I believe, Sassy upstairs as well. She did finally make her way to the top floor. And I don't think Panda or any of the other ladies of Delta Project are actually aware. So Sassy, if she's very sneaky and plays the cards right, she'll be causing a monumental upset here. Miss Marie getting up close and personal, just immediately taking away. What on earth? Iceball Chen just crowd walking across the way, unaware that Miss Marie had extended so closely to the site on this attack. But look how much breathing room they have right now.
Yeah, the Melissa Banshee not actually being positioned on the stairs didn't give the audio cue that someone was pushing down the main stairs. In fact, it was in the hallway that's going to give that intel a bit too late. And Ricebell Chen very lucky to be alive in the situation, as Panda is going to continue opening up the floor. Sassy is going to get that kill onto Mia, as the flank is going to start to come on through, but it's going to get shut down nice and early. Panda not letting it get out of hand and keeping the player count in favor of Delta, as Toxic Barbie playing underneath his kitchen hatch. Still has all 3 smokes in pocket with a minute 30 to go, or less than now, and Miss Marie is going to be able to get that kill onto Ricebell Chen. Close range with the SMG-11. Could work for one, but it's not a safe play to realistically go for, as the pressure from the main stairs is going to cause more chaos, more damage, as Dry Dahlia is getting tagged up and lit inside it. Oh, sorry. Toxic Barbie is getting tagged up and lit inside of the site. Dry Dahlia is just going to die as Miss Marie walks on in. It's now 1 versus 4, and Toxic Barbie isn't going to get anything for it.
Absolutely not. But you know what? At least Sashi managed to get one off on the flank. It's just again like the positioning as you fall into a pile almost of Delta Project players around that kind of kitchen bar area. A little bit scary, a little bit scary. Delta Project are never round on the board. If they keep this up and they go full 6-0, I do feel this may be a 7-0, to be honest.
I think we might get to see Nemesis win a round. Well, a round or two, maybe.
I kind of like, again, I feel like the thing is in terms of ability, they're good. It's just some of these setups that they're bringing is what's nipping them in the bud a little bit. Think a little bit of back to the drawing board with some of the operator picks that they're choosing to use, and maybe be a
Attackers
little
need to
bit
locate
sweaty
and
with it.
defuse
Maybe
bombs.
again, it's this idea of like, okay, yeah, batten down the hatches because you feel like, oh, if we play in this way, it's more defensive, things like that. But I would actually, and this might be a little bit spicy, and you can say to me like, Grace, you're just being a goblin now, but Nemesis getting aggressive would be quite pleasant right now.
I mean, I think at this point, you kind of just have to. The current play style hasn't worked out for you. We know that Toxic Barbie, when, you know, particularly on a map like Villa, when she gets to stretch her
10
legs
seconds.
and really just go for it,
Mm.
she can play really well. Rice Bell Chen as well.
5 seconds left.
Oh,
When given
Rice
the
Ball Chen, yeah.
Yeah, when
Sorry,
given
carry
the
on.
opportunities to be more fluid in what they want to do and hit their own momentum, they're really great individual players. I just feel like they're all trying to fit into a play style that doesn't necessarily work well to their strengths within this team lineup.
No, yeah, no, I agree. They do need to get bolshier with it. Again, Rice Ball Chen, we've seen so many times when she gets bolshy with it, it pays off for that roster. Because she'll get like a 2-3k and then it drops pretty much a good one for the rest of the teammates to clean up the rest. Yeah, same with Toxic Barbie, yeah. But I just kind of, I'm slightly concerned about how quickly this Raptors control is going to be taken again. But you know, half of 30 seconds has gone. Kitty of all people with the, and they're both with these nades as well, sending it in. They're trying, there we go. Beautiful pick there for Miss Marie onto Sashi, and it's going to push that player on Raptors into a bit of a tricky situation as well. This control can now be gained, you know.
Yeah, the utility placement coming through is basically perfect at the moment for Delta. The one flashbang to clear the ADS, and then the nade to follow it right up with someone holding from outside the balcony, getting a free kill. The Ace Selmas have all been used successfully and effectively, and it's just making things a nightmare for the players on Nemesis, as Panda, with a minute 30 to go, is already pressed up all the way at the top of these rafters. Flashbang's going to come on out as Toxic Barbie that's going to get the kill onto Kitty, but the peek from Drydalia is going to take down Panda as well. Nemesis actually have the man advantage in this round, but it's quickly snatched away from them as Shishka and Mia collect for one apiece to bring us now into a 2 versus 3. And Delta, with a lot of time to work with, already going for the plant, trying to apply as much pressure as they can onto these last remaining defenders. As Toxic Barbie inside the site is going to see what she can find, but Miss Marie repels upside down. Shishka with the plant down and getting the kill onto one. Mia is taking down Drydalia. At that point, it was a formality.
This is it, right? Why take a Warden when you can take a Smoke? Like, Smoke also has a shield, but Smoke also has Toxic Babes, where if they go for the plant, which historically, thus far, every single time you go to that site, they are getting that plant down, those Toxic Babes will hinder that. And even if it doesn't, it's going to do a lot of damage, potentially down them. You've got rid of a player for free, and then you can go for a slightly easier retake. And again, you don't really have to peek if you're sending out that kind of utility. Where are the C4s? Where are the Toxic Babes? That is, if fair enough, batten down the hatches, play more defensively, but bring the utility to do that also.
I mean, we had a quick peek at the scoreboard there for a second, and we saw every player on Delta had 5 kills. Well, we can see it on the side here. So Panda's got 6, Shishka's got 4, everyone else has 5. That averages out as every player has gotten at least 1 kill in every single round so far. It's been a beautiful team performance. It's not like we've just had one player pop off and go absolutely nuclear, and you know, if Nemesis could just find a way to shut them down, they'd be in a better situation. This has just been Delta putting on a clinic and not letting Nemesis get into this one at all.
I mean,
10 seconds remaining.
do you know what? I do think, again, it's just a case of Nemesis just ironing
5
out
seconds left
the
before
kinks here,
insertion.
ironing out the creases, and just keep building their knowledge
Attackers are
and their
heading out to
experience and
defuse
their
a bomb.
confidence more than anything. Again, season 2, question mark, could have an entirely different Nemesis. And I think that's something that actually I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give gratitude towards that, because I think that Nemesis season 2 will be a spicy thing. I think even if they don't end up, you know, in the top 4, I'd like to see them in the mid. I think they can completely have the potential to end up in the mid. And that's something I'm going to look forward to be honest, Dino.
They will have to play through relegations to secure their spots in the top league. It will be an exciting set of games come up in the future, as we are going to see Expolitan go for a bit of a run downstairs and avoid Mia. But this does mean we are first of all playing on the site fast stock, and I mean, we're seeing Delta play with almost entire freedom inside of lounge and garage, and it's going to make things quite easy for them should they try and go for a plant inside that stock door, especially with Mia getting that kill onto Rice Chance, just because Drone is going to get caught by the Mozzie Pest. It's not going to slow things down too much, as the information gained so far by Delta Project should be more than enough to get on into this objective.
Absolutely. But again, oh, well, there we are. Shishka taking down Expolitan. I was going to say Expolitan could cause a little bit of chaos here, but nope. The ladies of DP are just going to come in and absolutely stampede through some kills. The owls are in hand. Sashi fires back. A few warning shots. Potentially she can also get this to cause some chaos on the side of DP, but no, there we go. A flawless round, Dino. That is unfortunate.
I mean, they had the buck going upstairs to work these players out of their positions deep inside of the site behind the bar. That's just how complete the map control was for Delta Project in this round. And yeah, I was really hoping that Nemesis would be able to pull one round back on their defense, but with Delta now moving on to their own defending half and not looking like they're going to slow down at all, this is looking like we could be looking at another 7-0 for Delta Project.
Yes, but again, it's always tricky, because when you see a scoreline like this, it does make it seem like it's been a stomp fest. But I think, again, there's a lot of detail within that. This is a very, very experienced,
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
sweaty,
defused by attackers.
highly experienced team going against, you know, a kind of new up-and-coming team. I think for a lot of these players, it's their first proper time with Compet. And it's a learning experience. And I think, again, I've said this a few times this season, it's if you play against a team, you get 7-0'd, like, it hurts. It really hurts, and I completely get that. But at the same time, there is so much you can learn from that, because you can go back to that board and be like, what did they do that we didn't do? What did they do? Every single nook and cranny, every single detail, like, just go full analysis, like, oh, okay, this is how, look how clockwork they are. Because again, Delta, when they play, it's like watching the inside of a grandfather clock. Everything just moves so perfectly, and it's so, like, it's just nice. It's just so nice to watch. Like, chef's kiss. But I'm the same as you. I think I would have liked Nemesis to have got a round or so. But again, I think they've been trying to put up the best fight they can. And again, I'm very excited to see them in season 2.
Now we are going to see how they want to go for the attack in this one, as they are actually just being held outside the building. On 30 seconds into the round, we yet to see Nemesis really gain a foothold inside of the map, as Delta Project defending downstairs. Panda with the one tap onto Expolitan. That's the Kali going down, as they're trying to go for a hit from outside the CCTV balcony. Delta having a bit of fun with it at this point.
Yeah, they're being a little bit naughty, a little bit spicy here, there, and everywhere, but I guess you can when you're on match point. And there we go, whittling this down to a 2v5. Toxic Barbie falling to Pandy as well. It's all left down to Sashi. And she's just chilling in the pool table. She's clearly unhappy about the situation she's left in. The classic little wiggle about. what can you do in this situation, Dino? You got half the round still to go. You've got to attack basement on your one. A lone thermite in the wild. And here we
Uh,
see the lone thermite in the wild. Slowly
Work the map, get
approaching.
the 1v1s, you know? Sorry, I'll let you continue your David Attenborough a bit.
It's fine. I don't even want a David Attenborough watching this. Kitty and Panda just outside right now being like, Sashi is going to try and go for those kills because I guess she can, knowing that they're there. Not aware of the play on Raptors, however, going to go for the wallbang onto Kitty, gets the pick onto Kitty, but now all of those players of Delta know where she is and they're going to come Goblin running towards her. Certainly so. What do you do in a situation like this? You try and win your ones, you win a second one there. Can you get this player on Raptors? Panda there on the Mozzie. Yes, you can. You go for the knife, but there's also, there we go, Miss Marie, SMG11 in hand to finish this match up with a little bit of fun there at the end. But pure Goblin behavior, to be honest. Delta Project naughty naughty. A flawless victory, a 7-0 lead. Goodness gracious me.
I mean, yeah, it was the first time that we've really seen Delta Project just kind of flex a bit with like how much they had their lead, how secure they were, and that has put them 100% definitely, absolutely perfectly at the top of the table for the season. This nice 6-1 record, only loss being that first week against Sparkle Team. And I mean, we've said it all before, Grace. Delta Project, just absolute stack of gunners, great players, very well experienced too.
Simply built different. Simply built different. Again, there's there's not a lot you can do going against a roster like that sometimes, apart from just really, really go in on the analysis. And with some of these more younger and inexperienced teams, of course, it's going to be difficult because you've got to rely on a lot of support staff. I don't know if Nemesis have support staff. I'm assuming they do. I'm unsure, but often with a lot of these rosters, they'll be doing it all themselves. They're trying to run it all themselves, do all the scrims themselves, or for the most part, it's just fun to them. It's fun and gaining that experience. So, to be honest, well played to Nemesis. I will say, well played. You've had a really uh, good learning experience throughout this entire season, and I don't think that's anything to be poo-pooed, to be honest. And if you're Delta Project, you've met my expectations. I know. I think that is a very good roster. They know that they're good though. They know that they are going into these playoffs looking very, very strong, and potential revenge arc coming up, Dino, against Sparkle Team.
Potential. That would be a very fun matchup to watch. But we've
Mm.
got one more matchup left tonight, our fourth and final game between Randy's and Gypsy Queen. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly after a quick break to bring you the last game of the season one of Project Athena. It'll be sad to see it end.
It will be. It will. It feels like a big part of my autumn now. It's like every time I drink pumpkin spice latte, I'm gonna think of the Athena project now.
God bless pumpkin spice lattes. But yeah, please don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly for our fourth and final game of the evening.